I'm on my way to work, and I wanted to quickly talk about something that happened to me yesterday. Let me ask you, you got some inquiries, right? Like, let's say a client comes and says, hey, I have a day of shooting and can you make it? And what does it cost, right? So it happens to us obviously all the time. But then there is, oh no, it's getting really hot here. But often what happens is that a client, figures out if you're available and so on. You give them your price, and then they start haggling with you, right? Then they start, lowballing you. And the number one thing that I hear over and over again is, really, you charge this much? It just takes you an hour to, make this all happening, to set this up and to film this, right? And then once they lowball you, what do you usually say? Well, it doesn't take just an hour, and I have, so much gear, and you start really defending actually your price. And that usually is, like a lose-lose situation. So this is what I want to discuss with you, and I think this hack will surprise you. It works really, really well. Shall we? I have a client that I've been working for a few years as a shooter, but lately they haven't hired me because I increased my prices, and probably they couldn't afford it or for whatever reason. Now, since I live in Philadelphia, they live outside, so they live in New Jersey. I'm here in Philadelphia. They called me up. We have a shoot on Saturday. One interview to shoot one interview. So he asked me, hey, are you available? It was yesterday. Yesterday was Thursday. So I said to him, instead of answering him right away, I said to him, you know what? Let me look at it and I'll get back to you, okay? So I hung up. Then about 15 minutes later, half an hour later, I was writing him back and saying, yeah, I'm available on Saturday to shoot for you. So I sent him the text, and then he replied back, great, what does it cost? And then I said to him, it will cost you $650. Then he writes back to me in a text, what's the best price you can do? It's only an hour till an hour and a half, this interview. And, my initial, response that I wanted to write him, yeah, you're kidding me. It takes much longer than an hour with the setup and with everything. And then I typed it out, but then I erased it because I knew it was defensive and it was just plain stupid. So I had then a better idea. I remembered a lesson that I picked up somewhere. I can't even tell anymore where, but I picked up somewhere that it's a stupid idea to get into defensive mode about, pricing and so on. And I wrote back to him, yeah, it might only take me an hour, this interview, but it took me 10 years to learn how to shoot an interview really, really well. So I sent off the text to him. Then 5 minutes later, I get a phone call from him saying, wow, that was the best answer I have ever heard. I told immediately my wife, his wife is the producer, that she should use that line, for her own clients who lowball her, right? Because that is a common, almost default thing that people lowball you this way. So he was really excited. He gave me the job. And we're good to go. Another thing that I want to mention here in this context is, let's go back to the phone call. Did you notice I could have communicated everything in that initial phone call? So he calls me up. He asks me, are you available? And instead of saying, yes, let me quickly look at my calendar. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I am available. Then the next question would have been, and what does it cost? Then I would have said, oh, it costs you $650. Then he would have said, oh, you know what? Let me get back to you. And then I would have lost, that business deal already. So what did I do? What I did is I'm trying to get as many yeses up front, confirmation yeses from my clients. So if you look at it from a funnel perspective or as a marketing funnel perspective, there are in the deal making many steps in between, right? So clarifying, are you available? What kind of gear? What time? How long does it take? What does it cost? And most of the time, everything before the cost will be a yes. Are you available? Yes. How much time does it take? Such and such. Do you have such and such gear? Yes. And so on, right? And then at the end, always the decision maker is basically the price. Now, if you space that funnel out, then all the questions that your client is giving to you, or all the answers that I'm giving to the client have to do with a yes, right? It's with an affirmative, with an affirmation. So when it comes to price, he in his psyche and in his mind has already accumulated positive, how should I say, like positive deposits. And then the only negative deposit if your price is slightly higher than he expected. But for him, since he has, let's say, 4 or 5 yeses and positive deposits in his mind, this one no with the price, he can always find a way to make that work. As opposed to if you lump this all up in one conversation, then all what he will hear in that short period of time is, are you available? Yes. Do you have camera such and such? Yes. Such and such and such? Yes. And then at the end, what does it cost? $650. Oh, let me get back to you, right? So it finishes off one conversation basically on a negative deposit, on a negative note. And whether it comes to emails, to direct negotiations, or phone negotiations, I always try to space it out and try to have the pricing always at the end, because it makes a huge difference as follows. If he would ask me up front, hey, what do you cost? $650. Oh, that's very expensive. So he has already a negative connotation. Everything afterwards, he wouldn't even listen to your value proposition. So therefore, it's always important when it comes to what do you cost that you try to put the price really at the end of the whole conversation, so that the pricing is framed in the right way. There's a difference, right? If I say, oh, I come with only one camera and one lens, right? And it costs you $650. Or I say, you know what? I come with 2 cameras. I come with a drone. I have a Steadicam. I have a Movi. I have full audio gear. And I have a whole set of lighting. And the price of just renting all of this stuff costs you $1,200. My fee for this 1 hour is $650. You see what I'm doing? The value proposition is emotionally felt in a whole different way when you first state what the benefits are for him. Then you have, created the context, you have framed it, and then you say the price, and then the price will be basically compared to what he's getting out of it. So this is something I just wanted to share with you, because I know this is something that we face almost on a daily basis. And I think it's really time that we kind of do something about it, because it's kind of annoying, because, clients take those type of things, really for granted. And I'm not mad at it. I totally get it. I'm sure I'm the same way. But I think it's all, in the end, it trickles down to one thing, just proper education for them, because they don't know, right? You and I, we know what goes into a great shoot, into lighting and framing and audio, what you need to know, the million things you need to know in order to pull off a proper interview shoot. So there you have it. Let me know if helps you. Let me know if you have some other cool tricks that you have found along the way, how to deal with such a situation and what has worked for you. So down below, leave me a comment. I usually answer comments with a reply video here on this channel, and let me know what works for you. By the way, I have something brand new. If you like to get a very short weekend little email from me where I have 4 or 5 little bullets in there, what I discovered this week, or what I'm reading, and some other cool goodies that I put in this email, go to entrefilmmaker.com, ENTRE, like entrepreneur, filmmaker.com, and sign up with your email. And then I'll send you on a weekly basis that type of what I call weekend musings, where I'm kind of reflecting in a short email, show you a couple things that I have discovered that week. And you know what? In the end, if you really don't like it, if it's not for you, you can always unsubscribe. But I'm sure you will love it. Okay, hop over to Entre Filmmaker, subscribe. And if you don't want to do this, I would be really appreciative if you would subscribe here to the YouTube channel, because it will help to get more exposure, and it will help many other media and freelance people to discover this channel. And I think I really make this my mission that in our industry that we are able to do really proper business and reduce the abuse and reduce all the crazy stuff that we all experience on a daily basis. Okay, so long, have a great, it's a weekend, it's almost for whoever's Jewish, have a good Shabbos. Whoever's not Jewish, have a great weekend, a successful and also a relaxing weekend, and happy shooting. Okay, talk to you later. Bye bye.